What is up, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders? Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys had a great weekend. It's like I'm just looking at the calendar. How do we have like a week left of September? This entire year is just flying. It's going crazy. Almost about to be in the fourth quarter, which is wild. So we'll see. We do have a little extending month with one full week left, and then we got Monday for the last day of the month. So still a little bit of time in this market. Otherwise, for right now, SPY looks like we got a little bit of a gap up. But we got Albert House. Good morning to you. Good morning to Anna, Andy, Bill. Good morning to Chris, Corey, Georgia. Good morning to Joe, JT, Lauren, Marius, Martina, Mike is Rob, Tim is rocking with us. Good morning to everybody out in YouTube land. Hope you guys all had a fantastic weekend. Real virtual demand. Damien, good morning to you. Clarice, good morning to you as well. And yeah, yeah. Market toward the end of the day on Friday, and it was triple witching day, so we did see some decently wild moves, wild trends. Lauren's got MU. I see Georgia's got a couple too. But yeah, things kept going. So again, nothing too crazy in terms of like new developments because it is triple witching. The important thing is how things are opening today. And the market so far is getting a little bit of a gap up. I'm going to put some support on the SPY where I'd want to see us hold somewhere around 568.12. And then to the higher side, resistance probably somewhere around 571.43. Something to that extent. If we can start breaking above that, we should be good, but maybe a little range bound in that zone. We'll see. This is a little bit of a retest gap, so maybe we get that pullback and we use that support first. If we haven't done so already, pre-market, let's just check out pre-market. Where was our low? Yeah, I was watching the futures last night. They were just going crazy. I guess the low 567 depends on where I put it, but 567.89, something like that. What do we say we need? We need we almost got down there. We got pretty close to it. If not, yeah. So, we were down there pre-market. We'll see if that holds. I'd still think at open market we get some kind of a little bit of retracement. It is 2024 though, so maybe that doesn't exist anymore. We'll see. Qs. Alfred says, "Thank you for the volume video." Yeah, I think that was Jeremy that did that one. Yeah, if you have not seen the volume videos, I know a lot of people have seen them. The view count on that is like crazy, but deservingly so. Deservingly so. If you get, if we talked about this too, and mostly I trade off of volume. I know. I think last week we were talking about RSI. We got to a little discussion with that too. I think a lot of the other indicators they're good. They're helpful. So I don't want to trash indicators in general. But the problem is most of the information from pretty much every indicator is based off of what the market has already done. So the only thing that really tells you what's going to happen or what could happen is volume where people actually make money or lose money. So if you haven't checked out the volume videos, yeah, just search it on YouTube. Volume video or volume real life trading should come up. But Qs, same thing, a little bit of a gap up. We're just kind of hanging out in between the last Thursday and Friday's range at the higher end of Friday. And the resistance up put on the Q somewhere around 484.47. And then we have 482.44. We obviously broke this downtrend. We have not really retested it, although we closed the gap from Wednesday into Thursday. So with some of the wild Qs moving, we did close that, and we'll see if we can just probably hang in this range. Maybe again, maybe a little slower day. We'll see what happens. But we're range bound until we're not. Range bound until we're not. All right, let's get some tickers. Tesla. Tessie. Yes, I was looking at this one before. Again, my biggest problem on Tesla for me is the targets. I've got a pretty big resistance from back here, July 11th, and then also, what is this, July 3rd? So that's going to put me somewhere sitting right at 243.24. We were able to play this one as a day trade, where we actually faded this one bearish on Friday. So we got a nice 1.2. It did drop further, but targets on this one would take us, if we could break through that resistance, which we're opening right below it at this point. I think the next target on this one takes me to about 247.50. So we'll see. And then the higher target would be 251.08. So there's still some room, a little bit of room on it. But we have to break out of that resistance first. So I would say, depending on where it opens, it is also an inside day. If we don't break out of this 243 range, that could give us back to support somewhere around 239.37. And then that would be obviously just on basis of risk reward, a better risk reward to break out if it could happen. But you do have that resistance right there. And then once you break out, you got targets kind of coming in almost immediately. So I would almost rather see that pullback. But inside day yesterday, this is technically a gap and go, even though it is inside day. Maybe we get that momentum and maybe we could break that resistance at 243 zone. Otherwise, on the daily setup, the chart, everything else looks fine. I do prefer it to be bullish. If you're going bearish, I would continue just to try to hold for those 1.2s, because I think at some point these dips in Tesla just keep getting bought up. But yeah, I that was a great candle and good resting candle, nice little gap and go today. So I would be bullish and just got to try to figure out how to properly get into that one. Timing is everything on Tessie. We got Nvidia. Nvidia hasn't done anything pretty much for the full week. Let's see where we're at. Uh, Good gap and go from 2 weeks ago. Nice strong close, inside resting candle. And we're just in this kind of range for right now. We're actually at the close pretty much of last week. So nothing really gapping from over the weekend. We're still hanging on to the 50 EMA. We're still hanging on to the 20 EMA. So we got some kind of support. We got down there on Friday. I do have resistance from Friday, which we are below. It's 116.48. And then I think 116.54. If we can break out of this 116.54, the next, I think, immediate target, still pretty good, strong resistance. Takes us to this 118.80. But for right now, I think we're just hanging out. And then actual support on this one would get me to like 115.42. So prefer to, if I'm going to buy it, as low as possible to that. Otherwise, at open, I think it has a little bit more favor to the bears than to the bulls at this point, until we really start clearing that 116.50. Other than that, though, I don't think you have a huge amount of edge one way or the other trading this one for today. I don't see anything like must play. So I'd probably stay away from it, let it do its thing until it gets one of those overextended moves, and then maybe try to fade that play. Let's see the other one. We got DLTR, Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree. Um, Day trade again. Not much edge. We are gapping up 7, 8, 9 cents for right now. I almost want to look at the bigger picture on this one. And I don't know where I want to start my fibs from. I guess I'll start it here. If I start it here, that's just under the 38% retracement. So that would give us $70.68. I do got some volume that came in right around that price as well. So that might be a zone that I'd be looking for, maybe some kind of support. Otherwise, I could also see this kind of coming out a little bit further. Oh, real volume is here. That would take me down a little bit more, 69.62. I also have one more volume zone right at that range too. So I want to say this is quite bearish. I mean, we're down a lot, and there's still going to be the buy the dippers coming in. Probably a lot of them have already made money just with the mentality of buy the dip for anything. So if you have that buy the dip mentality and then you got in somewhere around $63, you got up to, I would be looking for 72.85. You got a little extended move on that too. Maybe even trying to get that gap fill. I do think if this thing comes down a little bit further, there will be a bigger buying opportunity in the future. Day trade wise, again, we're just kind of opening Slightly flat, nothing too crazy. We are still holding Friday's support. So again, risk reward. I don't know if this one goes bullish, but you do have some decent risk reward. So if you can get it as close as possible to 71, 74, your stop is somewhere close to 70, 89, and you're just trying to hold on to 73.11. You could, I could make a play for that, but not a crazy edge. Mm, MU with a good gap up. We're in this one again for the swing trade. We got 95.25. That's our 3 hour target. So pre-market, I was looking at this one before. We were right below that 20 EMA. So the good news is it's starting to work for us. We're starting to get out of that range. The bad news for us, I'm not sure how how well this holds up today. This is a retest gap. I can see this kind of coming back, retesting into this 9109 zone. So try not to get too excited. We do have our first resistance. If we the only I think the only way maybe this probably doesn't get a full on retest. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case or not. We'll see, and we'll see how the rest of the market wants to hold up to. Again, today's the day for everyone to kind of come in who got their options cleared out on Friday and kind of reset their position for the next month, 2 months, 3 months, and then that would take us into the end of the year, which is completely crazy to me. But MU, maybe this one comes down. We could get saved right around here on the 20, and then we get that bounce, and then we have a chance for targets today, tomorrow. Otherwise, I would not be shocked if this thing comes all the way back down, at least retest this 90-90 level. See if you get the bounce off of that, and then maybe we could hit it. So we have our stops right now, right at break even, so we can't lose on this trade if you're in it with me. But we'll see. The one thing that we do have to be cautious of, and if anybody is subscribed to Yates' email address or email address, just subscribe to his email address. I don't even know if that makes sense. But the RLT newsletters, I didn't realize that earnings were the 25th. So earnings are on the Wednesday. I don't know. I'm not gonna hold it. I'm not gonna hold this trade probably through it. I know he's looking for protection to buy some puts because I believe he's in it too with whoever's kind of following that one. But I don't think I want to hold it through earnings. I don't think I'm going to bail immediately today or tomorrow or maybe even Wednesday. Wednesday, I probably will bail before earnings, which is at nighttime. So we'll see. Just because we've seen it a lot where you get the you do get the little bit of a run up into earnings. So we have today, tomorrow, Wednesday to do that. The closest I could get to it, whether we take a market exit or we're able to hold through it. I still like that target a lot. And I think it just comes down to how quickly you can get there. And today, great gap up, but we're going to have to sit through some kind of retest, I think. So we'll see. MU, MU, Amazon looked good. So I'd be looking for continuation on this one. Again, it is still a retest gap, though. Pretty phenomenal high wave 2 days ago or Thursday. Good breakout, great close. I don't know how much of that was due to kind of the imbalances and the witching, but you are opening right into resistance. So I'll probably expect a little bit of a slight pullback on this one too. First support would be about 190.63, but this one can get back down, I think, to I don't know if I want it to come down here, but it could get down to like 190.05. That was our volume zone. Problem with that is now you're starting to break down that opening price from Friday, and it could get a little extended from that point. But see if we can get held up somewhere around 190.63 if this does pull back. Otherwise, I feel like you're kind of chasing a little bit on this one, and your targets to the higher side, I think, would take us to about 193.20. So we'll see how that kind of goes. We got V. All right. Inside day. Again, support, we're above it. Pretty close to it. So maybe again, if you're just trying to play risk reward, maybe I can see an entry somewhere around 284.44. So slightly below where we're at. and then your stop's going to be somewhere around 283.20. You're just trying to hang in there, though, I think, for risk reward. I don't see a reason why we would turn bullish yet. But if you like it bullish, that's probably how I would play it, just on a risk reward basis. But other than that, inside day, that is a lot of volume that came in on Visa on Friday. We got a good high wave candle, and we're pretty much right at the close. So again, not too much edge for one direction or the other. ODFL. Uh, this one's a little interesting. You're probably gonna get some chop on this one, I would imagine. This is still inside day candle. You are at the lows of Friday. I think this one, the one thing that's really interesting, you're below all those moving averages essentially. Uh, I would typically on this one look to get some kind of a retest around 194.05 to go short. That being said, we are opening right into, yeah, we have some support down here too. Buy the dippers. There's if you got it right at the lows, you're still profitable. You're not trapping everybody yet. I think this would be a really good spot to go short 194.05 if you could get it. I like the luxury of being below all those moving averages as opposed to shorting here, which now we have to break through. So maybe a little bit of chop with this one. If this one opens up and then you start breaking this 192.94, then I think you can get some targets down to 191.49, something like that. For a swing, I wouldn't take a swing here for me. I think if I was going to try to take it for a swing, I'd want some kind of entry around 190.87. And then I think your stops are going to go somewhere around 183. But almost head and shoulders up here. This did look like we tried to break out. Now you got a double top in here. So I'd be personally patient with it. That's a lot of volume you got to clear through to go bullish as well. And then if we start breaking, I think somewhere on the 192, there's actually not really any volume down until this 185 zone. So I'd be more patient on this one for a swing. JBL. JBL looks good. You do have huge volume, 114.63, and your 200 coming in. That's a lot of green candles in a row, so I'd almost have to go with some kind of fib. And if I get in maybe close to like a 108.08, I wouldn't mind trying. But I think this has to retest at some point. I It doesn't have to, obviously, but it would just go to my targets without me. But if I could wait and see if I could get any type of pullback, that would be terrific. Fabrinet. Really good volume yesterday. Looks like we hit, or yesterday, Friday. 235.41 is going to be a resistance on this one. I like that volume a lot though, so I think breaking out of yesterday's candle would be decent. Still probably want my entry somewhere above this. So I'd probably go bullish, something like this. And stops, I would get down to here, give myself a little bit of extra room. And then I think you have more than enough room to get a 1.2, 2 Rs, possibly 3 on a trade like this. Next big resistance up would take you to 243.13. So I'm not going to get too much off of that. But I think I could also get to like 247.87. So I have to at least think I could get to that. That looks like maybe a 1-to-1. And then your next big target up from that is 253, which is probably at least a 1.4, something to that extent. All right, we got DraftKings DKNG. Santilla's in the house. DraftKings looks almost really nice. Almost. I got one issue, two issues. One, it is a retest gap from from Friday, so that's not fun. Number two, we're opening right into that previous VPOC, so right around this 39.68, I think is going to be some kind of resistance. I I'd have to see how this one opens. If this one opens as a high wave candle, I wouldn't mind the attempt of a breakout as long as I'm getting in above this 39.66, I think. Targets on this one. I think we can see the 40 print today, possibly, if it wants to go bullish. So 40.37. Otherwise, I'll be looking for some kind of retest down to 39.23 to try it. Fail at this first resistance, come back, hit support. Next one, try to break up. So besides the fact it's resistance, I would be looking for today some kind of a bullish play on it. I just might have to wait. I might have to be patient. Probably a lot of retest gaps, I would assume. Microsoft MSFT, MU we did cover already, Kevin. But we could pull it up in a bit again. Microsoft, we will definitely be watching MU today though. Microsoft, this looks like I'm gonna go bullish. Really good volume. If you got in short on Microsoft on Friday, this gap is helping you. You got support, your first one at least, somewhere around 432.32, and then a huge one around 430.86. Targets on this one. Targets could be tough. Uh, First target would be 434.60. I'm getting kind of horrible risk reward on that one. If I can make a case, we get to 437.22. I think this one at least fades and then probably just chops. So I think maybe initial out of the gate, get some kind of selling. You could probably just throw an order down there. 432.32, as long as your stop is somewhere below 430.22 or less. Because I do want to try to buy this one as low as possible. But I think it's a decent retest with all that volume coming in on Friday. I think there's some shorts that probably open up profitable on that one. INTC on Qualcomm, just and Apollo Investment Interest. Yeah, they made some good headlines on Friday. They got a really good pop on Friday. Really nice move that I've been looking for forever. Every single day last week, I was like, yeah, I'm kind of like Intel. Intel looks good for a pop. And then I was in my car driving, and then I see Intel just. I mean, no. I was in my car. I was following all legal laws. I was not on my phone looking at stocks as I was driving. But then, so I magically just knew that they got their pop. I was like, well, you gotta wait until I'm not even really trading. But yeah, good move for them. This is a retest gap inside day. See if we get a little pullback. Really good support that I would like to see hold is if we could get some kind of drop into 21.85. And then I'd probably look to go bullish. We did get not quite into the 50, but we stumbled around there right before it. And maybe that is resistance for today. I don't believe any of the rumors are valid quite yet. So you keep in mind you could be in a trade and something comes out, a deal did not happen, deal did not go through, and this will plummet. But if that doesn't happen or the deal does actually confirm, it looks decent. But I'd still want to see kind of a little pullback on this one first. Google, probably one of my favorites today. I got that 100 EMA sitting at 164.30. You have a red candle. That's just really a retest candle, and we didn't even really retest all the way back down to this 159.44. We're above Friday's VPOC. We're gapping up above that red candle. I think targets on this one, at least immediate, would be 165.26 with potential to 166. So I got to keep this one pretty high on my list. I think that looks decent. EL. Estee Lauder. Potential double bottom. No confirmation yet, but it is. We got down to a good retest spot. Maybe if we come a little bit lower, you'd also be looking for like 84.11. I think I would be able to play this one as a swing, at least take a shot, but probably above yesterday's candle, or I keep saying yesterday. I'm Delulu. But yeah, probably something like that would be decent. Get above all that volume again, give myself a little extra room. Probably could lose less than an R on this one. 2 Rs. or maybe R and a half, something like that, whatever that equates to. Something to that effect would be target. So longer term, maybe 94, 93. I do like Estee Lauder at these levels. Like we're down. They're a good company. Margin on makeup is insane. And we're the most vanity society ever, I think. I don't know. I gotta read some history books. Maybe there's a time that we've been more. I don't know. Pins looks really nice. There's your big volume candle, a decent volume candle. We are above that. If we could get a pullback, not sure if we do, but if we do, and I think I'd want one a little bit, not a huge one. I think I'd like for us to get down to at least $30.88, if not 30.75. I did attempt to trade on this one a while back, and it just did nothing. Maybe we get some more edge today. So it was a slower moving stock than I remembered it used to be. But targets on this one, 31.35, which is why I kind of want that bigger pullback. Otherwise, the real target should be about 31.87. We could make some money on that one, 70 cents, which again is a slow moving stock, but it has a nice gap though. We'll get this one higher on the list too. Emily says, LOL. She remembers that day. The problem is forgetting that day. You can't forget it. All right. Let's check out Coinbase and Bitcoin. I already see real virtual demand. He's already starting to type angry emails. Why didn't you get to Bitcoin today? Come on, guy. But decent move over the weekend. Not over the weekend, but yeah, Bitcoin had a decent move. Coinbase, just hanging out. You do have a pretty big resistance at 172.23. If we can get above that, next target up would be 175.85. We almost got to that one already, so maybe we could go past it. Extended goal for today would be 179.69. So not bad. It is for right now inside retest gap. Closer you can catch it to 170.06, the happier I think your pocket would be. BTC, USD. This one again, a big problem is you got your resistance up here on Bitcoin. We got through it once. We did retest it. So far, we failed it. Really nice support. Anything past probably 63,063. I'll even go more. 62, your real key spot, 62, we'll call it 970. If you start breaking that down, I think you have a bigger retest, which would take you to about 61,000. And it's still a healthy move that we just had, having some kind of retest, getting back close to those moving averages. Could make us VITL. VITL. Why did that not type? There we go. Again, I don't know the volume on this one. That's for day trade purpose. I'm not sure if it's lower volume. Otherwise, decent little support that you're kind of sitting at now. Targets could be 35.02. Again, just check volume whether you wanted to day trade or rather swing trade that one. Otherwise, everybody out in YouTube land, I appreciate you joining us each and every day. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. But man, September's coming to a close real quick. We don't have much time. We don't have much time left. Otherwise, you guys are awesome. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Later.